What's up, guys? I am in the beautiful city of San Francisco, and I'm actually going to be managing and co-hosting a property here for the midterm rental space. Co-hosting is a fantastic opportunity if you are looking at bringing in income without having to worry about actually putting up any risk. There's a lot of opportunity, especially right now as we're going through a transition with a lot of old investors that are starting to finally get into the midterm rental space. And what I mean by that is that they don't want to manage any properties. They actually want to pass it off to somebody that can take care of it the right way. And you guys going after agencies is like the best and smartest way to do this. So for me personally, I like the co-hosting part, especially if you're able to manage yourself, because you're able to make, $1,000, $2,000 a month depending on the property. And I'm very choosy and selective about what properties I bring on now. I used to co-host. When I first started off, I would just take anything and everything because I just wanted to do well and help people. But the more and more that you do this, the more that you realize that you have to be very opportunistic on what you're actually bringing on and what type of properties are going to serve you and could potentially be winners. And you guys have seen previously in my other videos where I talk about, selecting properties that, you guys know what my properties look like. They're usually very artistic, or they have something that's very different, that are unique, that add experience. So I recommend doing that. So this place is super unique. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath up on top. And it is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath on the bottom. And it's actually a furnished basement that they completely redone. I met the owner. He was freaking super cool. So I just pulled up. It's a freaking cool place. I mean, this view here is just fantastic. This is the property right over here, actually. All right, guys. So right now there's a lot of opportunities happening. I've talked to several folks who have been in the flipping space for many years. So what I mean by flipping space is they buy properties off market, they rehab them, and then they sell them off to the average consumer, which is typically a family that wants to move into a place. With the market shifting right now, a lot of those guys that have been purchasing properties over the last 10, 12, whatever many years, they're starting to hold properties. They're actually starting to hang on to the properties because they don't know what the future is going to look like, right? We're dealing with the recession, inflation, and all these other things. So properties are starting to come down in price, which is great for a lot of people, and also not great for a lot of other people that had equity, which I think in time, I'm glad this is actually happening. I know this is probably a weird thing to say, but the prices were we were at the top, right? The average person, just in my market, unless you made a pretty substantial amount of money, you couldn't buy a property. And now with the interest rates going even higher, that's made it even more difficult for the average family to be able to pick up a property. So I think that this is a good thing. The market correction is actually happening. But where do I actually find the opportunity here in this space? There is a lot of folks that are getting into this space, and they're seeing it as an opportunity. They're looking at it, they're viewing it, they're saying, wow, I should probably get into the midterm space. But I've flipped houses for the longest time. Now I'm actually gonna hold a property. So when you start seeing things like that happen, is first off, these flippers were used to getting a certain amount of income coming in. And there's a ton of people that do this, you guys, tons. So when they start flipping properties and they start thinking, I gotta hold these for the next 2 to 3 years, whatever it is, imagine they have 5, 6, 10 properties they're working on, and they're gonna hold, let's just say 50% of that. So 5 of them they're now gonna bring in, and they're thinking about it in the sense that I wanna still have a substantial amount of income that's gonna be free flowing and cash flowing and passive, because flipping used to be a big payday, right? You do a flip job, you put X amount of money in it, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you got a $100,000 paycheck. Those days maybe not as sufficient as they were in the past. So these investor mindsets are now thinking like, okay, I'm gonna pick up a property, I'm gonna hold it. And I think that's such a smart move, because one, again, we talked about it, property prices are continuing to go down. We don't know what the 6 months or the next year is gonna hold. And these folks that were doing this for a long time, if you're intuitive and you're looking at what the future looks like, it's a smart move to get into something that's going to cash flow you over time without losing, a ton of revenue, which yeah, obviously they're gonna be losing a ton of revenue when it comes to that big bulk transaction, which is the purchase of the property that they rehab. But I think now, going back, they're looking at it in a totally different way. And I'm bringing this up right now because property management is something that I've been doing for a while. And if you guys follow me on this channel, you realize that I do things a lot different. I don't just kind of list on platforms and expect them to get booked. I go after agencies. And if you actually learn how to do that the right way, which how I talk about, going after the travel medical agencies, talking to the insurance companies, building the business-to-business relationships. As more and more folks like these flippers are holding properties, all you have to do is become the expert in your market, become the expert in your field. Understand what the travel industry looks like, what the medical industry looks like, understand the insurance play. Become that expert, then those flippers that were typically gonna hold properties that were gonna rent long-term, now can look at you and say, hey, I would like you to co-host my property, or I want you to do what you're doing. I don't want anything to do with it. You handle it, we'll furnish it, and you just take care of it. I want X amount of cash flow coming in. So I think for right now, there's not a lot of people that manage properties when it comes to the midterm space. And what I mean by that is that all these big companies like Evolve, Plushy Host, anyway, they manage properties for 30 days, yes, but all they do is list them on Airbnb for 30 days. And everybody, again, going back to this channel, we're watching this and we're learning about these things intuitively, have to go after agencies. Now imagine you pick somebody else's property up with little money down and invest it. We talked about a second ago, flipping properties. They furnish everything. We have no risk coming into the space. But you're able to build those relationships, or you're doing that now, or you have, I would hope that you would have your own property already, so you can learn how to do this stuff. Or if you haven't taken my course, there's a course that I have that literally teaches you how to connect with the agencies. I have pitch scripts, templates, decks, all that fun stuff. And you learn how to do this stuff, you actually manage your own property, then you pick somebody else's up, zero risk, you're able to make, I'm just giving you an example, $1,000 cash flow, and this is something that you don't have to put a bunch of money into. This is a space that is very, very new, and there's not a lot of people doing it in this intuitive way with, intention behind how we're doing things, so there's a lot of opportunity in this space. Short-term rental operators are now switching into the midterm space, so that gives us another, we haven't even broken into that opportunity yet, but I feel right now is an incredible opportunity just to get into the midterm space as an actual co-host. And I feel that, if you're thinking about things in the future and you're wanting to kind of change what you're doing, this is such a great way. So I would suggest everybody right now watching this, start thinking about co-hosting, start thinking about it as an opportunity, become the expert in your actual market, in your field. That's when you start building relevance. You start building relevance to people. They start resonating with you, and they start to see you as a person that can actually help them. And I think that, we talk about networks, and your network is your net worth, but in reality, you become the expert, and that network's going to come to you. That's just flat out how it's going to be. And everybody listening to this too, or watching this right now, I would suggest going to real estate meetups, connecting with people that are flipping properties, connecting with wholesalers, talk to realtors. There's so much opportunity. I think that, again, the next 16 months are going to pose quite a different real estate journey for a lot of people. And I think they're going to be switching up and changing things. And I feel right now is just such a good space to be in if you're, in the midterm space, like myself, and many of you are watching this because you want to get into the midterm space. But again, there's so much opportunity. Let's focus on that and, really pay attention to what the market is doing, but also obviously pay attention to the opportunities. I wish I could just talk like a normal human. Anyway, there's opportunity, you guys. Keep your ear to the ground, see what's happening, learn the midterm rental space, learn it intuitively, put energy into this stuff. Remember, whatever you put your mind into, you will start to see more of abundance that comes to that. I truly believe that is real, and God and intentions will align and things will work out. So I'm glad you guys are here. If you like this video, please like and share it with somebody that resonates. I hope you're thinking about things in a different way. Today's just kind of like a little different vlog day. We'll do a little walkthrough of this place, and I'll give you guys kind of the gist of it. So we'll jump into another spot here in a sec. So we're in the upstairs unit, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This place is pretty cool. My son playing video games with his buddy. What are you doing? This spot's cool. This is probably where I'm gonna film. I got a little bit of junk around here, you guys, but you can at least see. Cleaning up. Check out this view here. It's got a nice little patio area. actually in the basement unit right now. Most of the properties in San Francisco have a unit on top, which is typically where the property's at, and then down below is a garage and things like that. And the owner of this property did some really cool stuff. He renovated the bottom. His wife's going to be living down here, maybe potentially, but it gives you two different options to look at. So I really love this. Here's kind of a quick walkthrough of what this place looks like. So a travel medical professional can totally live here. San Francisco, there's small properties. They're not really super big, but this is like a really lovely little place that has quite a bit of light, even though it's kind of like a basement. First off, it has a kitchen. Everything's in one spot. It's got this cute little nook right here. Your living space is, right here, down here on the bottom. Your bedroom's right over there. And then I like these really cool sliders that they got, if you could see those. And the bathroom, they just did an excellent job. It's almost like a spa type shower. So, and then it's got this huge walk-in closet, which I really love. It's bigger than my closet. Okay, one of the things that is a little difficult here is, there's the shared space. So if you check out this is the door. So this door actually takes you into the laundry area, which would be shared with the folks up top. So this is the laundry space, which I think is pretty cool. And it's blocked off here. This door would be shut. Obviously the people upstairs won't be notified or alarmed, and this door here would obviously be shut. But it breaks you down to let you know, you have this unit here and then the separate unit, which is kind of cool. And then this actually takes you up top to the unit that's upstairs. So yeah, this is the space here in the city underneath property. So this could be rented as a midterm to travel medical professionals, and they could potentially this family could probably do, about $4,500 down here down below. But in San Francisco, I believe his family member is going to be moving in here. He's moving in. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, but I'm just giving you guys an idea of what you can actually do with spaces. It doesn't have to be San Francisco, but just think about the opportunity that comes along with it, because this place is super cool. Did an excellent job. Everything's brand new in here. It feels fresh. It feels cozy. If I was going to be in the city working as a travel medical professional, I would definitely want to be here, for some time. So it's a cool space.